I'm Jennifer Fein. I'm the co-founder of You Live to Travel. We're hosting this mini virtual retreat. And so we're the creators of the platform called YouLi, which is a registration and booking platform for travel businesses to put all of their products online. So of course, normally we operate with actual travel planners who take people off to destinations. And of course, that's not happening at the moment, but we are very much supporting our community to take their content and bring it online and deliver virtual experiences, which may not be quite as good, as I'm sure we'll get into with Chris after this, but at least allow you to still connect with your audiences and keep perfecting you know, the content that you want to share with them. So so we're very, very lucky today. So Vika is our community manager, and she put all of this together. She's the one who created the YouLi experience page so that you could register for this. And she's invited Chris to host this, and he has graciously offered to do this for us for free. So of course, if you do appreciate this content and these experiences, there is an option to donate on the registration page where you found the link, and all of that money goes to Chris. So so we want to thank him for doing this for us. And so now I will hand it off to Chris to introduce himself and to lead us on this sound journey.
Thank you so much, Jen. Just really incredibly grateful to be here and for being invited to do this. I just want to basically share relaxation and connection to people's selves as much as I possibly can. So really thank you everybody for joining today and dedicating a little bit of time to going inward and seeing what's there for you. I combine the methods of Wim Hof method, yoga nidra, gong playing, and sound bath all together into the experience that you're going to have. I've been a musician my entire life, and I think now, especially during the time of COVID-19, it's just a really important thing to be focusing on, and especially when we're spending so much time with ourselves, you know, getting to know ourselves a little bit better. So if I can connect one of you to the breath a little bit today, my job will be complete and I will be happy. And I've been using a lot of technology to be able to try to make this as pleasant of an experience for all of you with the best sound quality that, that I can create in my living room while we're all stuck at home. So if everybody could please lie down, or get in the most comfortable seated position that you possibly can. I highly recommend lying down because it will increase the amount of relaxation that you can get into. If you read the guide, there was a little bit of intention setting that we went through. So if you don't have an intention yet, please do set an intention for this next 30 minutes of meditation and journeying. Additionally, just a quick safety thing in case you guys didn't read the guide or see the notifications. If you are pregnant or epileptic, please do not practice the full breathing section. There are breath holds in there that you will not want to do. So please just relax and breathe through the session, but do not practice the holding of your breath part. So with all of that out of the way, if you would please lie down, put on your nice headphones, and get comfy. I'm going to do a couple of magical things here and get my system set up, and we'll start here shortly. This is going to be a combination of some pre-recording that I did, and as I play live, the gongs and other instruments to build in. So please breathe deeply, please relax, and please enjoy. We'll be starting here momentarily. Deep breath in and release. I acknowledge you for being here. I know that each and every one of you are exceptional beings. We are about to embark together on a journey of connected relaxation. You are here to relax, to let go, to connect with what is there for you. Breathe with relaxation in for 3 seconds and out for 5 seconds. This is a safe space. It is okay to let go. Give yourself permission to let go. Allow yourself to surrender to the present moment and let your thoughts flow. You may find yourself lost. This is okay. There will be moments of silence. Just enjoy them. Breathe deeply with relaxation, in for 4 seconds and out for 6 seconds. Give yourself permission to float away. Give yourself permission to release control. Everything you experience is perfect, whole, and complete. There is no wrong experience. You are whole and complete. Right here, right now. Breathe with relaxation in, 2, 3, 4, out, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Like a wave, in, 2, 3, 4, and release, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In, 2, 3, 4, out, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in. Please remember your intention now. Repeat it in your head 3 times. We will now take a trip through the different parts of the body. After I say the part, repeat it in your mind and simultaneously become aware of that part of the body. Keep yourself aware, and your body will relax as we go. Become aware of the right hand thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, palm of the hand, back of the hand, the wrist, the lower arm, the elbow, the upper arm, the shoulder, the armpit, the right waist, the hip, the thigh, the kneecap, the calf muscle, the ankle, the heel, sole of the right foot, the top of the foot,
the big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe. Become aware of the left hand thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, palm of the hand, back of the hand, the wrist, the lower arm, the elbow, the upper arm, the shoulder, the armpit, the left waist, the left hip, the left thigh, the kneecap, the calf muscle, the ankle, the heel, the sole of the left foot, the top of the foot, the big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe. Now to the back. Become aware of the right shoulder blade, the left shoulder blade, the upper back, the middle back, the lower back, the right buttock, the left buttock, the spine, the whole back together, the whole back together. Now go to the top of the head, the top of the head, the forehead, both sides of the head, the right eyebrow, the left eyebrow, the space between the eyebrows, the right eyelid, the left eyelid, the right eye, the left eye, the right ear, the left ear, the right cheek, the left cheek, the nose, the tip of the nose, the upper lip, the lower lip, the chin, the throat, the right chest, the left chest, the middle of the chest, the navel, the abdomen, the whole of the right leg, the whole of the left leg, both legs together, the whole of the right arm, the whole of the left arm, both arms together, the whole of the back, buttocks, spine, shoulder blades, the whole of the front, abdomen, chest, the whole of the back and front together, the whole of the head, the whole body together, the whole body together, the whole body together. The whole body on the floor. Become aware of your body lying on the floor. Remain aware. Full awareness of every single cell in your body. Total awareness. Total stillness. Yes, I am imperfect, vulnerable, and sometimes afraid. But that does not change the truth that I am also brave and worthy of love, belonging, and joy. We will now explore the breath. Bring your attention to your breath. I will lead you through the breathing. Just breathe in and out with focused attention. Breathe relaxed. In and out like a wave or the tide. Belly, chest, head, with no pause at the top. Head, chest, belly. Catch your breath and bring it in again. Create a circular breath. If this is your morning, you can breathe a little faster and deeper for more energy and focus. If it is your evening, breathe slow and extend your exhales for deeper relaxation. Be curious and connect to what your body needs. There is no need to follow my pace exactly. You are the pilot, not the passenger. You are in control. Breathe in, belly, chest, head, and with no pause at the top, release. Catch your breath at the neutral bottom and bring it in all over again. Create a circular breath. In for 4 seconds and out for 6 if you like. If this is your morning, you can breathe a little faster and a little deeper for more energy and focus. If it is your evening, breathe slow and extend your exhales for deeper relaxation. Be curious and connect to what your body needs. There is no need to follow my pace exactly. You are the pilot, not the passenger. You are in control. Continue breathing deeply and relaxed in and out. In with love and out with all your stress. Let your stress leave your body. Fully in. And let it all go. Just breathe. With no force and your body fully relaxed. No pause between the in-breath and the out-breath. In and out like the tide. Continue breathing deeply and fully relaxed. In and out. On your next inhale, breathe as deeply as you can to the very top of your lung capacity. Then release to neutral and hold your breath. If you need to breathe before I say, breathe in and hold for 15 seconds and then continue to breathe. As you unwind into this present moment. let go. Feel your heartbeat. Embrace your body. Breathe deeply in to the top of your capacity and hold for 15 seconds. And release. Let it all go. Feel the connection to every cell in your body. Let this next breath come naturally. Let the breath breathe you. Fully relax your body and continue to breathe deeply in belly, chest, head, and out. Breathe in with light and relaxation, and out with all the stress and anxiety. I am worthy of living my life fully and freely. Continue breathing in and out through the nose. Fully in and release. Be curious. What does your body need? In and out like a wave. Explore your breath. What new areas of your core can it go? You may experience dizziness, tingling, strong emotions, or trembling in your extremities. It is all perfect, just as it is. You are the pilot, not the passenger, and you are always in control. If the feelings are too intense, you can extend your exhales and slow your pace. If you want to go deeper into the feeling, increase your pace by 10% and breathe even deeper still. We are now arriving at our final breath of this round. Breathe deeply in to the top of your capacity and release to a neutral hold. Relax your body and let it all go. If you need to breathe before I say, breathe in and hold for 15 seconds, and then continue to breathe in and out like a wave. I am worthy of being loved, worthy of sharing my love with others. I am whole and complete, just as I am. others that they are also whole and complete, just as I am. Breathe deeply in and hold. Feel the energy in every cell of your body. And let it all go. Let everything go. Feel your heartbeat. Unwind into this present moment. Trust your body to breathe for you. Let it take the next breath, and the next breath, and the next breath. Let your body fill up like with the tides, and let go naturally. Melt into the floor. Let yourself float away. Worthy of sharing my authentic self, worthy of showing others that they are also whole and complete. I am worthy of leading others, healing others, and transforming others. Just as I am. My showing up is enough. Just as I am. My enough is extraordinary. I am extraordinary. Just as I am. permission to be a healer. I give myself permission to be a leader. I give myself permission to transform the world. Become aware of your breathing. Become aware of your natural breathing. Awareness of breathing and awareness of relaxation. Develop awareness of your physical existence. Become aware of your arms and legs and your body lying stretched out on the floor. Become aware of the meeting points between your body and the floor. Develop awareness of energy in your body. Feel how good it feels to have dedicated time to exploring your breath, body, and spirit. Lie quietly for a few moments, relax, enjoy the sounds of the handpan, and keep your eyes closed. Whenever you desire, start moving your body and stretching yourself. Move in any way your body needs. Take your time. There's no need to hurry. When you are sure that you are wide awake, sit up slowly and open your eyes. Welcome back. Your journey is now complete.
Just
Good morning.
switching some audio.
That was so beautiful, Chris. Thank you. We're gonna give
That's
you
awesome.
time. Hi, Michael. Thank you very much. We're getting an echo.
Oh, that's me.
I'm from Nigeria.
There we go. All right, you should have no more echo anymore.
Hi, Chris. What's up?
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
So we're just gonna give you guys a little bit of time to kind of come back to the digital space.
Totally. And I'm going to turn my lights up a little bit.
So I have to admit, this was my first sort of guided sound journey.
Yeah.
You know, I've done a lot of yoga practice in the past, so it had some similarities, but I've never had it with the sort of the handpan and the gongs, and I was really impressed at how much of a physical effect that had on me.
Totally. Yeah, it's hard to convey that online. I've got mic set up behind there and mic set up over here, and do the best I can to get the quality over to you guys. And so next time you got to get yourself a nice pair of headphones.
Yeah. Well, I have at least something to go over my eyes. I have a little.
Oh, nice.
Like this. So there's a little bit of that. So Michelle is saying that it worked really great online, and Jan is saying,
super good to hear.
Jan's agreeing that it worked really well with the headphones. Yeah, I can imagine. Actually, I think it would be so great to be like fully immersed, and especially if you're in a household with children in the other room doing their homework.
You got to get some noise canceling headphones. Those are the best.
So,
and
The
with
sound,
headphones, you can get it pan back and forth between different sides of your ears too. So there's different effects that you can create going back and forth as well, which is kind of an additional like hypnotic aspect of it too.
That's cool. Sorry, Michael, did you say something there?
Yeah, I was saying the sound was awesome. I didn't have to use a headphone.
Oh, nice.
I'm just using my smartphone, and I thought I had an awesome immersion on the sound. Oh, I came a little bit late, the time zone difference, but it's awesome. I don't know how long this lasted. Was it like an hour?
It was 30 minutes. 32
30
minutes.
32 minutes. I'm not sure when I came on, but I probably had, say, 15 to 20 minutes, maybe. But it was awesome. I enjoyed the vibration. It's the I've never even experienced yoga before. I have never had, wellness. Wellness is something that is really new with me. I intend to explore tend to understand it a lot more. So I suppose that I'll be connecting with you, Chris, to learn as much as I can learn. I'm also thinking, how do I support to ensure that a lot more Nigerians and Africans experience this?
Yeah. Well, we can do anything online these days. So, I mean, I'm happy to organize experiences like this for anybody. I mean, I have a friend who does breath work for children in schools. This can be experienced by anybody that has a speaker system and some internet. So it's a lot of different techniques all put together in the easiest way possible to experience, I feel, because this gives us the chance to slow down, lay down, connect with whatever's there for you. So, you know, I'm not doing anything magical. I'm just giving you guys a space to connect to your own powerful selves, and whatever healing comes out, or whatever changes or things that you get out of it are because of you.
Wow. You know, another thing I need to point out is in Nigeria, particularly in Africa, when people think about these experiences, they quickly, there's this phobia that they have for these experiences. There's this inner fear that they have for these experiences. They quickly conclude that these experiences are mystical. They quickly conclude that these experiences are some thoughts closer to the dark powers or whatever. There's this quick inside conclusion to that. No, so I'm thinking, how do I participate with you to bring better indoctrination and understanding, you know? So I'm just thinking in that direction.
Totally. I mean, my mission is to demystify the mystical. I want to bring the science behind it. I want to bring the verbiage behind it that can get this out to the most people possible. I mean, everybody has this power inside them, AKA just stopping and being in stillness for a little bit to connect in with who you are and what you're about. And, you know, there's nothing magical about these experiences unless you want them to be. But in general, all that it is creating that space for you to connect with yourself. I mean, the mystical is inside all of us. I just want to take away the esotericness and take away the spiritual aspect of it, and just say, hey, by the way, everybody can do this. It builds your stress resilience. It gives you time to connect with who you are. And it's just, it's something for everybody that everybody can benefit from. And like I said, I'm not doing anything. I'm just creating a space for you guys to come in and be yourselves and to connect with.
I'm going to challenge you on that one, because how much time did you spend preparing?
The entire day and all of yesterday.
So, I mean, I think it's similar to
online.
Sorry?
It's new for me doing it online. I usually, and these experiences, even in person, when you get to be next to the gong, like the vibration that I feel in my body, literally I can feel it in my bones. So for me, it's a slightly different experience. But however, the more we can bring this into the digital space, the more people can experience it. And the easier it is for people to be in home, in their beds, you know, feeling whatever they're feeling, and they don't have to go out to get that. So yeah, demystifying the spiritual and the mysticism is what I really want to do.
Well, and this is a huge opportunity. And I think so far part of my intention that I've been trying to set for myself as to start finding the joy in the present moment, because there's so much anxiety and that's so easy to go to. But I think it's moments like this that just kind of makes me go, oh, this moment is actually going to potentially, you know, make Michael from Nigeria want to bring, you know, sort of sound meditation to people who would have never experienced it before. And maybe because it's digital and it's online, they can kind of dabble in it where it sort of feels a bit safer. And then, you know, that will introduce them to a new practice that they just wouldn't have otherwise. And I loved where you sort of said, you know, give yourself permission to transform the world. And my hope with with this moment, this anxiety inducing pandemic, you know, maybe on the other side of this, we give ourselves permission to transform the world in a positive way. So that was part of my intention for today's session. So thanks for making that space.
You're welcome.
And
yeah.
The comments are kind of flowing in here on the chat, and just really, you know, people are really appreciating what you've done, and looks like there's some great potential collaboration opportunities there. So I'll let you guys, so we've noted those, and we'll definitely make sure that you can connect with Chris and have conversations about how this, you know, how you guys might be able to work together in the future. I want to spend some time kind of talking to you about, you know, you were talking about the challenge of like taking this offline experience, this like very physical experience, and kind of putting it online. So can you talk about what you've done in your room here to make that possible?
Yeah, I mean, I took this online on the 6th, on the 3rd of April. And there was a question over there about making this available online. Yeah, I do post these. They will be available. Some of them are available on SoundCloud and different things like that. So longer and shorter meditations. So what I've done is, you know, the most important thing for me is the sound behind it, right? So I have, you know, got microphones set up over here for talking and for bringing the singing bowls in. And I've got microphones as well set up over here by the gongs. And just the, you know, my passion that I have for this is that I ended up getting so many gongs. And I use GarageBand, just the simple, it comes with the program to record everything and kind of do the voice so that afterwards I can focus on playing the actual live instruments themselves, which I feel like just makes it so much of a organic experience for everybody. I put a lot of time into thinking about, you know, what do people need right now with this pandemic? We're all away from each other. We're all disconnected physically, but energetically and emotionally, and with words, we can all connect together. So what can I do to empower people as much as possible? One, to be connected to themselves, and then afterwards go out and what can you do for others? So again, back to the technology stuff. I've been doing some interviews. I use Zoom. It's great. I just share my computer sound, and I have everything piped in through the microphones into the computer itself. It's a constant process. I don't know how many hours and days I've put into this. It's been like a constant thing for since the 3rd. So
like if you think about the like, as you've been doing these as experiences in the real world for how long?
Yoga studios in different places where I can bring in the yoga nidra and the sound bath and the breathing and everything.
And so in that case, like you're counting on the context, right? So you're counting on just like they're physically present, so you don't have to worry about the microphones and the this and then that, right? It's just like make sure the room is quiet. Is that kind of?
Yeah. You know, it's still an art of creating a space and holding space for people. So the biggest thing for me is how do I create the context in which people can transform and can connect with themselves. So that, you know, you still have to think about that. One of the biggest things right now, and I know that we're talking about also getting into how do we get people back into traveling, right? You know, after this fear of what's going on right now. I have started doing interviews with people. I found people that I'm interested in who know about the breath, who know about different techniques that we can use to manage stress and anxiety. Yeah. And I just contacted them. I said, hey, can we do a discussion? Can we talk about this stuff? Yeah. And what type of a valuable discussion can we bring to people? That can very easily be translated into what you guys do. With travel and if you are people in the travel business, go check in with some of your clients that have done transformational experiences with you. Ask them to come online and just have a vulnerable, open conversation. You can use BeLive is one of the things right now that you can connect directly into Facebook Live, and you can invite them on. It's just a side-by-side conversation, just like a podcast. and just ask them questions. Say, hey, what was your experience like? What are you excited about to do traveling in the future? What transformation did you have? And bring that sense of transformation and connection and joy back into the space for people by having those conversations genuinely and authentically being yourself and asking them what you're obviously what you love and what you want to do, and talk about that stuff. Start a new conversation, start a new context, start a new story. Instead of we're all afraid and we're all stuck at home, go, hey, we can use technology to connect with each other. We can use technology to have amazing conversations heart to heart. It doesn't matter where we are. And so we can create the actual change going forward.
And I think, the topic of anxiety and travel, it's actually, we're doing a panel next week, sort of the future of travel, and we're technology people, right? But we ultimately serve humans, and before we can solve the technical problem of getting them on the planes and getting them booked and all that, we have to solve the human problem of, are they going to be too afraid to travel, right?
Totally.
And and I think that's going to be the responsibility of travel planners, to provide assurances and help people kind of manage that anxiety through sort of operational things, like just making sure everything's cleaned properly, but also potentially connecting with their audiences prior to, and just doing things like this, just sort of giving them space to be calm and to reframe the way they're looking at the world, so that as they're considering travel, they come at it with a more grounded experience. So that's, I think, and I feel like that's kind of what people are really, really looking for right now. So I have a feeling you're going to be very busy during this recovery period.
It's what I've wanted to do my entire life, and I'm finally just doing it. So it's good. And one other comment as well. I mean, everybody knows some sort of a stress reduction thing that they do in their lives. Share that in your conversations. I don't have the right way to relax. I have a way to relax, and I have studied it my entire life because I was severe asthmatic and panic attacks 30 times over 13 years in the hospital all the time. So I've, gotten pretty deep into what can I learn about that. But everybody has techniques, and, build that into your conversations, build that into your live streams, just get yourself out into the world and start a new conversation, and focus it around what you're passionate about, what you can be authentic about, and how you can help people. I mean, the more people you can help, the better all of us will be.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think, that there's a challenge here for those people who were doing offline experiences to find translates. And I think, what you said, so you've been at this since April 3rd, and you're still refining. And like, I think even just as we got started, you were like, let me test this last thing. I
was so stressed out.
Yeah. And so you had some pre-recorded, but then you did some live. So it was a combination, right?
Yeah, I actually had pre-recorded everything, and then I found out that it didn't translate very well into Zoom. So I cut out half of it and decided to just do the words. I mean, and then also this is kind of the first bigger retreat type of experience that I've done. So I really wanted to bring in the live playing of the gongs. So that way, I pre-recorded a little bit of the handpan, pre-recorded the words, and then I could be in the space and bring in each instrument organically to create a, organic experience for everybody.
Nice.
And so there's a lot of different things that you can do to toy around with it. And I mean, this stuff is just take a little bit of time and go look into Be Live, go look into what do you have available to you that's free that you can use to put yourself online. What can you do? I mean, we're all stuck at home anyways. I mean, use that time for something that's valuable to you and learn some new skills. I mean, it might be a little bit scary, but in the end, just go on and mess with it and mess up a bunch of times. And
Yeah.
then you'll get to a point where you can actually make something cool.
Well, and so that's an excellent point. I think a lot of people really struggle with online experiences because the technology is a little bit afraid of embarrassing themselves. They're afraid of making mistakes, which totally understandable because, you know, oftentimes you're being recorded and that can feel intimidating. But to your point, I think testing it out in advance. So you had one soundtrack where you had a lot more pre-recorded, but then you tested it on Zoom and you didn't like that quality, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So I think that's a really good lesson for anybody who's thinking about trying some of this stuff out. Like, you're not going to get it right the first time. And so, you know, you definitely want to do some tests and find what's that balance between pre-recorded and live. And you'll probably just keep changing it every time anyway. Like a good recipe, right? Like every time you cook it, you just change like a little thing, you know?
Just keeps evolving. And you know, get a client or reach out to somebody that you really enjoyed being around that you haven't talked to a while and say, hey, can you hop on Zoom with me and help me to test this thing out? I'm trying to do this new interview or experience, whatever, online. Use that as a way to connect with somebody that you miss or that you haven't talked to. So there's all these little tiny opportunities that we have to connect with people. And I mean, we're all kind of looking for that right now, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but especially for those of us living at home alone.
Yeah, for sure.
Also where some of the breathing exercises and taking, you know, one of the biggest things that I've been practicing recently and just telling everybody, it's just like the simplest thing ever, is like when you're doing something and you finish whatever it is that you're doing, take 10 seconds to take one deep breath, relaxed deep breath in between going to the next thing. So that you don't just start steamrolling through your day without any reflection at all and end up at the end of your day going, why am I so anxious? And just take a pause. Take a pause whenever you can.
It's such a good reminder. And actually, so the thing that I struggle with, I'm a technology person, and I've always been online all the time anyway, but now I'm even more, if that's possible. And I actually find it can be quite anxiety inducing in its own way, you know, just to be constantly on camera. So it'll be really interesting as we kind of work through this and find tactics to kind of calm ourselves and readjust to being like, yeah, I'm on camera. That's okay. You know, that's just normal and that's okay. Like, it's just like having a friend sitting across the table talking to me, right? But
I go take a 28-minute nap before I go on camera. Not joking.
Oh, nice.
Really nice. You just lay down and breathe for 28 minutes and you probably don't fall asleep, but you end up being a lot more relaxed afterwards.
Yeah. And I think like deep breaths and rests, and, you know, because so many of us, our schedules are broken. So we don't necessarily rest when we used to rest. And so we maybe are in this sort of anxiety loop. So yeah, I mean, I think, and to your point, everyone has something to share. And I think, like, I recognize that not everyone who's on this call is necessarily going to want to run a sound bath experience, but I think everyone.
I'll let you know how.
But I'm sure Chris will teach you if you want. But yeah, but I think everyone has something to share, and it's just a question of taking the time, as Chris has done. Right, this is clearly the result of hours of work and passion. And I think it's a really good demonstration of what that can look like. So it's very inspiring, and I look forward to seeing what other people kind of get inspired to do in terms of their own versions of their online experiences. So, you know, we booked in about an hour and a half just to make sure that we had plenty of time. So I'm gonna open up. I'm just gonna encourage people to put some questions into the chat. But I would like to just talk really quickly on the technology side. You kind of touched on sort of, kind of the free stuff, right? But, I think a lot of people are struggling with being able to monetize. And so on that point, I will definitely say, if you valued what Chris did today, please go and donate on the YouLi page. So this is one model. You're currently in this mode, which is a pay what you will donation model. So talk about why that's the approach that you're taking.
Yeah, for one, I'm just starting out. It has not been a long time that I've been doing these online. I also think that, especially right now, when not a lot of people have their jobs still, we're in a situation where I don't really feel like I want to charge for this. Yeah. I think that it's incredibly valuable for everybody, literally. But I just think that the more we can make, what I'm doing available to people, the more people will be able to transform, the more people will be able to be stress resilient, the more they'll be able to take time and sit and breathe and think about what they really want to do with their lives and who they want to be and how to be authentic and all of that. So I'm doing it based off of whatever. I mean, I would do this for free anyways. I would love to make a living off of it. That would be great. But for right now, I mean, I definitely think, whether or not you donate, I am incredibly grateful for you just coming and taking time out of your schedules to connect with yourselves. We don't do that a lot.
I totally agree. And I think a lot of people are in that place right now in terms of, now is not the time to necessarily charge. Now is the time to connect. And, one of the things that we're in conversations with people is whether or not the sort of virtual product or online product that they make ends up being something they continue, let's say, a year down the road when, we're back in our yoga studios and back traveling. Do you see this as being kind of an ongoing thing, or are you expecting you'll kind of like put it in the closet and just go do the—
No, I think my ability to reach people online is much larger than in person. Plus, I don't have to move around 150 pounds of gongs, which is also great to not have to do. But that being said, I mean, really, I think that our ability to reach people through the internet is just incredible. It's something that I think that I will most definitely continue to do. I mean, even who was that? Michael, I think, that was talking earlier. He's in Africa. I mean, I'm not going to go over there and play a sound bath. I can, however, get the information and help to demystify spiritual experiences and help people connect with themselves by Skyping in, by Zooming in, and getting people to meditate and to sit and to listen and to connect. So I think that I will continue to do this online forever, hopefully. It'll obviously continue to evolve.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I like that, actually. So Fiona was just suggesting that maybe a membership, kind of like a weekly session, regularly scheduled. So I think these are the kinds of things that people are starting to kind of play with. And, it depends on kind of how big your audience gets. If you think you can get people to kind of, sort of like they used to have a gym membership. Now they'll have like,
Well, and this time you don't have to go to the gym. You wake up in the morning, you're lying down in bed, and you get to do an amazing live meditation. I mean, I think that that's a great idea. I think that would be something fun to do. Whatever, you have a sliding scale and you can pay $10 a week or a month, or you could pay whatever it is that you want a month. And I've seen other models as well, where there's like this is what we think that the value is, or this is what our suggested payment is. Yeah. But you can change that to 0, or you can change that to $1 million. Which I really liked. That was on the Authentic Relating websites, where they said you can download their guides, and the guide is $15 suggested. But you can go in there, and if you don't really know what it is yet, you go buy it for $0. You go research it, experience it, and then you can come back later and donate to them afterwards.
Yeah.
I kind of like that model too.
It's interesting that you say that was, so the Natural History Museum in New York actually has that model. Suggested entry price is something like $20 to $40 per adult or something like, I don't know what it is these days, but back when I lived in New York. And, but you could choose not to. So if you couldn't afford to pay that, you were allowed it. But of course, if you could afford it, you felt like, well, of course.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I mean, with this type of information and with a lot of things that you guys are doing, I'm sure too, it's like, there is value there for sure, but I also don't want to uninclude,
exclude,
thank you, to exclude anyone from experiencing it. And if they do really get value from it, I mean, eventually, whenever they can, they will give something back to you, whether that's money, whether that's a connection, whether that's a contact, whether it's a discussion, whatever it is, there's much more value than money that people can give.
Yeah. Well, yeah, for sure. And so then just, touching a little bit on kind of the registration process. So we set up a registration page on YouLi. Now, normally we call these trip pages, but you were our sort of test for using it as like just a single experience registration page. And so I think, it was really great for us. So you're helping us kind of test. So thank you. To see, like, how did that go? And we'll send out kind of to get some feedback from people as well. But, our trip pages are designed to help people prepare for trips. And so we thought, well, can this translate? And that was why one of the tasks that was on the page was to set an intention and to watch the content in advance. So, we're trying to see whether or not our sort of real world travel pages kind of translate into being able to support these experiences.
Yeah.
So it'll be good to get some feedback from people on how that went as well, the technology that supports. And the idea is that, to support this kind of idea where people can just come in and experience it. And then if they liked it, they have somewhere to pay that they can go back to. And so that is still an option. And it's also going to remind you to sort of process what you went through and actually kind of go through a little bit of a journaling exercise. So just thinking about what kind of came up for you. And this is something that a lot of our transformational travel clients included in part of their experiences, was that you actually would journal as part of that. So you'd have an experience, you'd go for a hike, or maybe you'd visit a particular, not-for-profit or something in a particular place. And then you would sort of process that transformation by journaling at the end of the day. So, we're now kind of doing smaller chunks of experiences, right? Because I think it's very hard to have a 5-day online experience, right?
Totally do it.
That'll be our next trial.
It'll take me 2 years to prepare for it.
And I think that's one of the big differences between online and offline, right? So an offline thing, you can take people out of their world and put them in another physical place, and you can kind of keep them there for a weekend or a week or things like that. And you can really get deep into that. Whereas with the online ones, you can get them for maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then you kind of lose them and you have to bring them back again. And so I think this will also be interesting to see how we create multi-day experiences.
Yeah, definitely.
Where you can kind of chain, and maybe it's this monthly, weekly membership thing where people just kind of keep coming back to the same spaces, but the specific content is varying. And so, we're hoping that we can support people to kind of create that structure so that people understand, okay, well, today's session, we're doing this. The next session, we're doing that, and helping people prepare for that. So on the page, being able to see, all right, the next one is going to be on this topic. So I should make sure that I'm prepared. Or, all right, so remember that last time you didn't have a pillow. So bring your pillow the next
Yeah, and And I want to do two shout out things here. First of all, YouLi has been awesome to work with this entire time. They've pivoted from travel to doing online virtual retreats in like weeks, a week, something like that. It's crazy how quickly you guys were able to move. And the value that I've gotten out of it is huge. I mean, doing it with you guys and having the website and having the ability to put reminders in and to send videos out and to have the guide on there and follow up and, you know, intentions beforehand, follow-ups afterwards, all of that stuff being automated. Like there is no way that I could do that through Facebook. The other thing too is the amount of time that you are all spending with us in this space. Versus doing, for example, Facebook Live. Like I did an event, an interview yesterday on Facebook Live that has like 6,000 something views now, but like 99% of those were 3-second views. So it's really the mental acuity and focus that's on Facebook. That is not the place where you're going to be getting like long engagements.
Yeah.
Getting people to pop out of Facebook and come into the YouLi website and then onto Zoom is by far the most effective way to connect with people fully, to have full attention. When you're on Facebook Live, I mean, you've got your other notifications coming up and all this stuff happening and all this, you know, whatever, and you're going to be on that video that's 55 minutes long for 1 second or 3 seconds. Like their average metric is how many 3-second views do you have? And I'm just like, that's not what I'm trying to achieve here.
Yeah, that's a really good point. So Facebook's a great place to promote, but it's not a place to capture attention and get the focus on the transformation that you're trying to bring, right?
Yeah, you can build your network that way, and you can start getting, it's like a big blanket that is really shallow and not very deep. And then once you get into a platform like YouLi and you can start using what you guys have available, that goes deep. And you can actually create value that way. You know, the interview that we did yesterday was amazing. It was on diabetes and breathing exercises and how to thrive with living with type 1 diabetes, who I have family members that are like that. And it was a Wim Hof instructor on talking about it. You know, I want to get the conversation to people. I don't want to get just, oh, that guy's face looks weird, I'm going to the next video. Look.
Exactly. Yeah, and I think that's really important. And so so thank you, and we're glad that the partnership is working out well, and we're excited to continuing to evolve. And we found a couple of things here. We're like, oh, next time we'll do that better. So definitely see some changes that are coming soon to make the YouLi pages more oriented to being able to deliver these online experiences. They're currently called trip pages, but you know, they can be used as just registration pages like we did for this one. So we're working currently on the ability to add to calendar and set times so you can change the time zone as the traveler. So those are the two big asks that we're working on. And we're also actually partnering with an entity called Speakeasy. So it's still in early stages, but we're looking at, and so our developer, Isaac Trotz, is actually on here. He's actively working on our own kind of Zoom competitor that's actually tuned specifically for these kinds of experiences. So there'll be some pretty cool interaction capabilities here, because it can be quite difficult to manage how you kind of bring people into the conversation. So actually I wanted to touch on that. Like for you, when you're actually doing these in person, afterwards, do you have a conversation with the group, and how do you what do you think, what are your thoughts in terms of what's different in a real world conversation versus the online?
Yeah, I mean, I think a really big aspect of this is the follow-up. That's where the transformation that lasts comes from. I mean, you can go in and relax and be in a space and enjoy yourself for a little while and then go on through daily life. Or you can go into an experience, have, whatever it was that all of you experienced, that was your own subjective experience, that was connecting to subconscious thought and connecting to emotions that were in your body that had been sitting there that you weren't fully connected with because you hadn't just taken the time to lay down and connect into your body. What I usually do is to break people up into smaller groups of 2 or 3 where they can have a discussion and just talk, hey, what was your experience like? Everybody's experience is completely different. Some people see visions, some people dream, some people fall asleep, some people laugh, some people cry, some people make really weird noises. And it's all good. It's all perfect. And when they are able to have a little bit of a discussion to just share that with somebody else, it becomes so much more real, and it becomes so much more lasting, to be able to become vulnerable and to be vulnerable in that space and say, hey, I had this really weird experience, or, hey, I was, thought about my grandpa who died a few years ago, who I had never cried about, and I just cried for him for the first time. I have all these different stories, and everybody, that to me is just as important as the laying down and being there. So and there's a few follow-up things, like you were saying earlier, built into the YouLi system for the reflection and going in and asking yourself, what did I experience? How is that applicable to my life? Is there anything that I want to apply, an action that I want to take that will actually change something for me? Who is a person that I trust that I can talk to about this? So, how do you reflect on it? How do you act on it? How do you build that into your life? And that's the transformational part, right?
Yeah. So, and just a note on that. So you guys will be getting emails to come onto the YouLi page and put your reflections down in writing. You're totally welcome to do it there, or you can just use it as a reminder to journal in your own way, or even strike up a conversation with someone about your thoughts. And just so you know, if you do put something in, it's only the organizers that see that. So it's only Chris and myself and Vika that can see that, not the rest of the group. So so that's actually something that's really important about the YouLi pages, is that while it is a group page, we're very careful that it's not like a social media page where it's like everything that everyone says is shared with everyone else. And so it's actually the organizer controls what gets shared across everyone. And when you complete a task as a guest, you and the organizer are the only ones who can actually see that. So there is that privacy aspect of it, which is different than a Facebook, where if you put a comment out there, it's like everybody following, Chris can see your comment. So it's very hard to be vulnerable in that way. So you can feel comfortable, assuming you trust your organizer, to be vulnerable in that reflection. So I just want to give you that permission.
Yeah. And here's one of the other really valuable aspects about that too, and I don't remember who it was, but somebody in their intention, there was a comment that they put in there that was about, what I need right now is to work on my self-worth. So I actually looked at those before I went into this, and I created some of the verbiage in the lead meditation to specifically address that person's self-worth, to help to make them thrive, and to help to bring back that, we are all whole and complete. I am enough. My enough is extraordinary. My showing up is enough. I mean, come on, guys. If we're not enough now, we're never going to be enough.
That's great. And it's so funny too, because sometimes it just takes the vulnerability of one person in a group.
Yeah.
Because it's like, listening to that, it was like listening to, it was like, that's what I needed to hear too. Yeah. And so, that's, to me, also one of the powerful things about group experiences is that, it takes that one brave person to sort of make the comment or ask the question, and then we all benefit from that. So
totally. Yeah. And then in seeing if people actually go on and put in some of the reflection things at the end, that means that I can go in and create an even better session the next time. Because once we get that feedback, we know, it's this whole loop. We go do something, you guys give us feedback, we look at it, we internalize it and create something new out of that. So without your feedback and vulnerability coming back, we would just go off into space and who knows what the heck we'd do. But
yeah, well, exactly, because it is that collaboration and it is that connection between you and the people that are experiencing it. So
Michelle is asking, how do I drive traffic to my registration page? Ask Jen.
So in this case,
you guys
it's
did
a collaboration. So Vika, of course, is the star of that show. So Vika, actually, if you want to speak to kind of the tools that you use to drive traffic.
She did an amazing job. I put something up on Facebook and didn't get that many people through it. So whatever we got on here, it was because of Vika.
Well, we use several sources. One of them was actually pretty good. We did those weekly meetups before, just thinking about what people need at this time, how we can serve, to be honest, more than anything else. One of them was Travel Massive. So Michelle, I'm not sure where you're at, actually. I think you're in Europe somewhere. Oh, Vienna, hi. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, the Travel Massive page is a great for travel professionals. And this time not necessarily travel, but trip journey professionals of some level. Facebook is one of them. LinkedIn, social media, Instagram. That's our usual channels. There was YouLi channels and Chris as well. And email. I think we got the biggest response this time from our email list, that people were really excited to see what is possible to do. It seemed like a great demonstration. Hopefully we'll get the good feedback.
Yeah, and I think what that speaks to is that you have to find the channels of where your audience is. So for us, Travel Massive is where our audience is. That, if you're not targeting travel industry people, that's probably not the right channel for you. And you also want to work with partners. So for example, I'm a member of Impact Travel Alliance as well. So I posted into their community. So it's just sort of knowing where your audience is, and it's kind of your classic marketing. And the great news for right now is that, everyone is online. So whereas in the past, maybe, you wouldn't have been able to get that engagement online. Now, oftentimes, if you're just showing up, people are engaging. So that is one positive of this moment. And, I encourage anyone who's ready to kind of take a leap and try something new. This is a great time to try something new. Not something offline, but something online. So
I can be a testament to that. It's been like 17, 18 days. And on my Facebook page, Soundsmith Wurden, I have 23.6 thousand reach, 7,400 and something post engagements, and like 400 likes or something like that. And it's just going on. And the biggest thing has come from just go have a conversation and be vulnerable. Call up a friend, call up a past client, call up a past person you traveled with who had a great experience, and talk about it online, and just make mistakes and just don't be perfect. That's what people are looking for. They don't want perfect right now. They don't want like the beautiful graphics and all that stuff. They just want like real people talking. Like that's what they want right now.
Exactly. And my hope is that off the back of this, that I will actually get to go and meet Chris in person.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
and actually get to like feel even more deeply the Gong experience. So Chris, you're in Seattle, is that right?
Yeah, I'm on right outside Seattle on Bainbridge Island.
And so I was supposed to be coming to Seattle this October. Fingers crossed that maybe that's still possible, but if it's not, it'll have to be sort of 2021. But yeah, whenever you are back in the real world and doing experiences, I'm totally there.
Awesome. And until then, I'll continue doing them online too, so you can always join me in this space.
Awesome, guys. Check your emails for follow-up. We really do appreciate your feedback. Do the reflection. That helps Chris a lot. And we'll also be asking for feedback just in terms of the event itself and how well we are doing at pivoting our platform to support you in delivering online experiences. So much appreciated. Now go transform the world, whatever that means for you. Thanks, guys.
And breathe in 4, out 6.
All right, that's what I'm doing next for sure.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
That was awesome.